Sunday morning, August 21st, 2025. Actually, September 21st. I don't know. I'm still in last month. Well, anyways, I haven't made a video in a few days, so I figure I'd make one for this morning. Hunting season is underway, which means I'm splitting my time between building the cabin and doing a little hunting. Mostly it's squirrels and shit, but you know, that happens. Well, anyways, I didn't like the big cap rock that was on the fireplace. So I yanked it off. And I did a little something else. I put the little cap rock back on there and kind of did a little thing, because it was getting too much into the cabin. And I can shove the fire back in there. I've added rocks back here, getting ready to start the chimney going up, which is going to go on here maybe today. I've got a few gallons of water up here, make some mud. We'll mud all this in, and then I'll find a couple of decent sized rocks that'll go in here about halfway, because I want the log to run in here, and I can stuff some rocks under here and mud that up after I get the log in. That way I don't have to cut the log. So anyways, rained last night, so everything's a little damp. Didn't take me much to get the fire started, because I have underneath that pile of wood underneath there is dry wood, so I'm good. I've been seeing a lot of deer up here. Saw a bear, bunch of turkeys, bunch of squirrels and stuff, so we are doing good. So the sun is coming up in the sky. I got here about daybreak. I started the fire in there and then decided, well, I don't like that cap rock in there. For some reason it was tilted back, and I wanted it to kind of tilt forward, and it was too heavy on the one side, so it didn't want to do that. So I said, okay, we'll just put the little cap rock back in, because I had cut a piece of it off. And it gives it more of an area to put a decent sized chimney in here. And that's what I'm going for. I mean, I don't need it in. I don't need this in so much. So I'm going to either use that rock, or I'm going to take a little bit longer thin one, which I probably have in that pile over there, and kind of match it with this right here. That way I just mud it on the back. You see the rocks, no big deal. I like that. The front is out plenty enough for the cabin. I don't need to make it any bigger. I was going to go way bigger, and I was like, man, this is just for heating this cabin. I do not need to go bigger. So we did that. And we're just kind of looking around. I put some deer corn out the other day. I got some, Mary, my girlfriend, she decided she was going to buy me a bag of deer cane. I've never used it. And what it is you mix it with water, and it's enough to make 4 to 6 gallons worth. And what you do is, it's like a salt block, but you put it in the ground, and the deer will paw at it and get after it. But it's like a mineral block that you put in the ground. I've never even heard of it, never seen it, and everybody swears by it. So I have one. I have a pile of corn that way, and I have a pile of corn that way. So I'm going to get kind of by the piles, scratch me out an area, because I just need to get the leaves and stuff off of it. I'll take my rake with me that I made, and I'm going to scratch off some leaves and put it in there, and the deer, it should attract the deer. So, and I've got one pile down there I have yet to check this morning. I had a little pile in there, and there was a big buck on it the other day. So I went down there. I had a 30-pound bag of corn. I split it between that one and this one over here. This one over here, the pile's going down pretty quick. I've got another 30-pound bag sitting in the back of the truck at the moment. I brought the truck up today because I had things to bring. Other than that, Mary also got me some new ammo for the pellet gun, because I'm hunting with a pellet gun at the moment, because it's all small varmints. And I normally use the Daisy, they're pointed pellets. Well, these, I don't know if you can see that, that's a hollow point. I've never heard of a hollow point pellet. She brought them in, she goes, oh, those are hollow points. I was like, a hollow point pellet? Come on, don't jerk my leg. And I got to looking at it, no shit. So I had a bunch of the pointed pellets. I still have a few because I've been sighting my rifle in and shooting around, but I carry a few in my, well, let's get it right here. I carry a few in my pocket instead of the can, because a 500 count of pellets, it's just all lead. So there's a couple pounds sitting in your pocket and it weighs you down. So I just take a few, stick them in my pocket, and then if I want to go hunt something, or if I see something, because there are a shit ton of squirrels around. I like hunting squirrels. I eat them. If I get one up here today, tomorrow time frame, I will skin it, gut it, and cook it up here. I'll eat it. That'll be my lunch. That's pretty good. I'll have to bring up a bag of like salt and pepper, and maybe some spices. Maybe some Cajun spices like Tony Chachere's or something. That would be good on it. Just rub it all on there and then just put it on a fork stick, and I can go right here over the fireplace and I cook that bad boy. Yeah. Be good yummies. Kind of tastes like a rabbit almost. A little different, but not much. But no, there's no rain for today. It must have rained last night because everything's wet. The forest is dripping. It's raining on me a little bit, but we're gonna get going today on this. I want to get some. I want to find another rock for right there. One that's a little longer and I can stand out, and it'll kind of match that right there. That might just do. That's fine. I'll put some mud down, stick it on there. I don't care if it's got like a little cut in it. I don't care. I could put a little rock there and kind of make it decent. And then mud in here and put a little rock. I need a little rock right in there. So, but this cap rock is doing way better than the other one. So what I'll do is I'll probably chop that up into about 4 or 5 pieces. Maybe even more than that. Or I'll just leave it together and use it as a step right down here out of this little doorway. I'll put it right there and make a little step so I can step up and down and step up to put the wood in, whatever. Just a little step right there. It's not going to hurt nothing. Or I can use it out in here when I make the fire pit. Use it as a base rock. Turn it upside down and it's nice and flat. You can do it with that. And one of the other things I wanted to get done today, besides mudding, if I don't mud, because I might bring that deer cane up, go ahead and set that up, then that would run me really low on water. What I'll do is, where my door is right here, I'll come down right in here, and I got the 2 timbers that were broke up from my floorboards, and I'm going to use those. I'm going to put them up here, right in here somewhere, right in there. Put one up, nail it up against them logs. I mean, nail the snot out of it, right? Then I'll take one out here, and I've got a bow saw up here since I don't have my chainsaws running. And I'll take one of these timbers right here, measure it up, and cut a couple of legs. And I'll make like little pockets to where the nails will go through about half of that board to hold it onto the legs. And the same thing with over here. So it holds it a little bit better. And I'm going to make a table. Kind of needing a table. So it'll be however long it wants to be, I guess. And then I'll use the 1x. Now I did, because of my saws not running, I took a couple of them 1x, 4 of them to be exact. And I shoved 2 this way and 2 basically this way and covered up my little holes here. Tried to anyways. And since that's running like a 2x4 a little bit better, yeah, that'll work. So anyways, that's what we got going for today. I will, I'll look around for another little rock. I might chop the corner of that up. So I put a longer rock in there because I've got one right there that I'm spying. I might have to cut the end off of that, but cut that, put it in there, yeah. So we'll see what we can get going today. But I don't want to make a lot of noise up here. Oh, one other thing I've been doing. If you look right here, this is one of the edges of all them boards. I stuck one in here just to see what it would do, and it's not that high. It's not a trip hazard because it's round. So I nailed this one in here, and I think I'm going to do the rest on the floor here. So since I have the bow saw up here and I have a few more of them right there, I might have to knock down a couple of knots on them, but I've got a couple that I really like. I'll straighten them up, and I'll probably put, because there's a big knot in that one, but it's pretty good on that side. Same with the one that's over there. What I'll do is I'll cut this one, and then I'll cut that one to fit. So I don't have any of those big knots I got to knock down. I think that'll work. So we're going to do that. Make it kind of look decent in here. I mean, it's just for hunting, just for camping. So, sit down on my logs here. There's not much going on today. Today is going to be just a kind of figuring out day. I do like the fireplace. It looks fantastic. Once I get that backside mudded and get it a little taller, I won't have any smoke coming this way. And I think it'll look decent. And that's pretty good for a little fireplace. I could shove the fire in the back, more in the back, get it started in the front, shove it in the back. And yeah, a lot of the heat's going to go up the chimney, but the ambient heat is going to be on the inside of here. Once I get it all enclosed, it won't take long for that to heat this little place up. So I've also, it's September already. If my saws don't work end of the month, I'm going to just go ahead and buy a new saw. I've got the chains and the bars to change it. If I get a 16-inch saw, it's only a couple $100. Go buy a brand new still. I have extra bars, extra chains, which is always a good thing. I've got them off 2 saws. They say not to go above like 20 inches on a 16-inch because of how much the motor's got to work. But in certain circumstances, I have a 24-inch bar and chain, which I could put on there. It's no biggie. So we're probably going to go buy a brand new still end of the month. What else is going on other than corn and starting to get this fireplace together? See, I need to go a little bit higher on this. That way when I put the this 12-footer in here, see, I can pull this back, get it straightened up, because it's just got a few nails just to hold it down. There's 2 on each log coming up, and I'll put the 12-footer starting over here, go across. This one I'll have to notch out like I did the bottom, And then I can start fitting in the door piece, but not quite yet. The reason being is I still got to drag logs in here, and I want this little rocker board still to be on there. That way it doesn't mess up the log underneath. And then when I'm ready, I'll straighten these up, probably cut them straight up and down. Boop, boop, boop. That one same way, straight up and down. I might have to notch out just a little bit more on that log. No big deal. Then I'll clean it all up. Put my one boards over here. Dum-da-dum. Probably cut them in half and get rid of the edges and make like 1x4s or something out of them. 1x3s. And I'll box this all in, and then I'll make longer ones, just a la natural, and I'll make the door. I'll put my regular boards down, and then I'll put a little board on top of where the seam is to keep the water and everything out, because I won't be able to chink that. I just want to keep the wind and the rain and the snow and everything else out of there. And then I'll put the hinges to, what did I say? I'm going to put the hinges on the outside, but the locking mechanism is going to be inside. That way I can just, it'll have a little slide deadbolt lock, and I'll just go right into one of these logs, drill a hole, slide it right in there, go down with it. That way I don't have to have a lock. Nobody can get in here. I got that all figured out. So, today is, I think, a mudding day. Or I can wait till tomorrow, because I'll use the rest of what I got in that 5-gallon water can, which is about, I'll have a total of about 4 to 5 gallons of water. Yes, it's going to have dirt in it, but deer are going to be eating the dirt too. So, and I'll mix up that stuff and pour it near my corn piles, start getting the deer into here. They are here. Had that 6-point buck walking right up here. That was a few days ago. The 10-pointer was over here. He was a big buck. On the other one that's down the trail over here, I had a 4-point, a 12-point, and an 8-point. So, and there's been a bunch of does running around, a couple of fawns with them. I did see a bear the other day. I was stalking some turkeys because they were over in where I'm hunting squirrels, which is, go down the hill, go across the creek, and it's right over there. There's some really, really big, thick trees, and there's some squirrel nests and stuff in them. So what I was doing, I was over there, and the turkeys come from this direction here, and they go up the hill, and then they walk this trail across. This is all about noonish or so. They walk that trail across, go across, and then go down by my other pile of corn, walk across, and then go up the creek and over this little hill. There's like a little 4-wheeler trail over there. But you can't get to it because of the creek. It's all like washed out and stuff. But they go up there, and evidently they got some place to kind of eat bugs or whatever over there. So I was kind of following them and kind of saw where they were going to bed down and stuff. So now I know what time the turkeys are coming. And they walk up this little road here, and sometimes they're at the bottom of this hill, but they eventually come around, walk up and around. So when turkey season comes in, I'll have me a shotgun. Or I could use a pellet gun. Pellet gun, it's like a 22. I mean, yes, I'll give the turkeys a hell of a lot of chance with it, but I can only get so many turkeys. I think it's 2 or 3. So, we'll see what happens. There is a shit ton of turkeys up here. So anyways, we are doing whatever today. I want to get some of this mudding done, but then again, I want to put that stuff down. I may just put that stuff down tomorrow, because I'm going to use all the water I got today for mudding and whatever up here while I'm kind of hunting around. And I'll mud this all up, cut them little rocks down, put them up in there, get them all mudded nice and tight so it looks halfway decent in here. And I'll put some mud in there after I'm going to bring a log and force these this way to where they're level, and I'll leave that little log behind it to keep it where I need it to be. I'll go ahead and mud in here. I'll mud on the other side, close that little air gap off, and then I can start running my rocks in here, starting from about right here, go across so it's on the edge of this log. So when I put the log on there, they'll fit. There'll be a little air gap, but I can just throw mud in behind it or chink it up, doesn't make a difference. But start going this way or kind of cutting it off and making the actual square chimney. So that's what I want to get done today or tomorrow. So we're going to figure this all out. Other than that, please, if you do enjoy these videos, I want you to at least subscribe. You don't have to like them if you don't like them. Yes, I do a lot of talking. I'm trying to show what I'm doing to build this thing, such as how to do the fireplace. You can just see I was setting in rocks. I had to, it's like a big puzzle. You have to put it together, and you kind of got to know what you want in there. I was going to have it longer, and then I said, nah, I don't like it, so I made it back to where the original was. I've been building up on the backside. You guys have seen me throw mud and rock. So, and eventually, when it rains real hard, like this next spring or later on this year, the rain will wash some of this mud off. So then all you're going to see is mostly the rock in there. There's going to be mud up underneath to keep these rocks in place, but the exterior mud is going to come off of here. So it'll look all natural after about a year. I mean, right now I'm not looking for looks. It'll get that way after a certain amount of time. So, yes, we are up here just enjoying the day, kind of. I've got this 12 or 17 footer here. I would like to put it in over here because I need a smaller diameter log there, and that's what this is. So what I can do is, since I don't have my chainsaw up here, I can use the bow saw to cut my little notches, or I have an axe. All I got to do is cut a V notch in it, stick it on there, and we'll go with that. Other than that, I might put that 17 footer in here, then I'm just ready for some 12 footers. Okay. So when I do get my saw either running or get a new saw at the end of the month, I can go back to cutting timbers, getting them set back on here, because I need 6 to 8 more rounds, and I'm thinking this is 4 and it's almost 3 foot. I want the walls to be at 6 foot. So if I make 6 more, make it 10 high, that should definitely be 6 foot. That way I can walk in here with the rafters going across. I'm not going to hit my head on anything. The rafters will peak up to about 8, maybe 9 feet. I don't want to make it too high. And then I go back to getting these big logs and splitting them into the 1-inch boards for my roof. They can be that length because when I run them, I'm gonna put my first one in and then lap over the other one and then lap another one if I need to, and I'm gonna kind of crisscross them away. So when I got to put like a little center board in there to keep it from leaking, because I'm not doing anything with a tarp on the top. So once I get this all done, the cap will actually be a center cutout log. So it's kind of like a half round type deal. And I will put that on the very peak of it so it doesn't leak through the middle of the roof. And then I'm going to have them overhang, and I'm going to set it up to where I will have enough area to get the chimney up through one of the eaves. So that's what we're going to do. So right now I'm just kind of without a saw, but I do have a bow saw. I do have an axe up here. I'm not stuck, but it's just a little more work. And then after I cut down like the edge of it's pointed, when I get the saw, just cut them straight. Make it look like somebody did it with a handsaw or something. I wish I had an old single jack handsaw. That would be nice. And I can fall trees with an axe and kind of cut them to the right length and get them up here that way for the next few days. At least I can get some timbers up in here. And I won't run the risk of getting my axe stuck in a tree versus getting a chainsaw stuck in a tree. And these trees, I read them right, like if they're going uphill, if they got an uphill lean and over to the side, that's the side I want to fall. So I take my cookie bite out of the bottom of that, and then kind of, I'm trying to do straight, but I actually go a little bit uphill with my cut with the chainsaw. And sometimes those things, because of the wind, it'll rock back and it'll pinch my chainsaw. And then I got to use the axe to get it out. But, yeah, it just, maybe falling these trees with an axe might be a better deal. I've got a very, very sharp axe. It doesn't take long to cut through the size trees that I want to cut through. And it won't take me long to cut them and get them in here. We just kind of do it old style. And I can notch them. It doesn't make a big deal on how I notch them. Because what I can do is, if I don't want to notch them, I have my wood chisel and a hammer. And I can kind of mark where I want to cut it, right? And then just take little nibbles out of it every time, and I can square those things off. So, or I can make a V-notch, which is traditional. It doesn't make a difference. It's just, this is just a hunting cabin. It's nothing huge. So, anyways, I think I'm going to get busy doing something. Yeah, like and subscribe if you want to. I don't have a lot of followers. I'm not worried about followers and stuff, because I know this is not going to gather 10, 20, 30,000 people. But over time it will gain some. But yes, there's a lot of talking in my videos. I want to start doing more of the work portion of it so you can see what I've done. When I start making like the partial videos, because it's going to be like in little stages, I have pictures to go with all these little videos. And what I'll do is I will cut my voice out. And it'll be mostly me working. And I'll put little captions underneath. And then it's all, you guys will probably like those better. I'm just a daily thing. This is what's going on. This is what I'm thinking about. How I'm going to put this together. I've got approximately 40 days to finish this up or so. Yes, it's getting down to the wire without me having a saw for about the last week and a half. Yes, it's hamstrung me, but I think I can get by with the axe. When I do get a new saw, then I can really go to town. Holy smokes. That wasn't a tree. I don't know what that was. Sounded like something crashing through the brush. But anyways, yeah, that's what's going on today. So, if I go to mudding, I'll do like a time-lapse video so you can see me mudding. I won't show you me making up a bucket of mud, but it'll be over here while I'm putting this thing together. But basically You put a layer of mud down, put a rock on top, put a layer of mud down, rock on top, put a layer of mud down, rock on top. And it's a big jigsaw puzzle because you got to figure out what's going to be kind of flat. And you want to make sure that it's stable so it'll hold the weight of everything up above it. And you can't make the rocks too skinny. And then again, you can't make them too wide. So I've got a hammer and a coal chisel up here to break these down to size if I need to. If that looks just like the rock I want to, I can take off the excess, put it on there, boom, and just keep going. So, with that being said, I guess you know what time it is. No, it's not that time. But it is time for me to go to work. So, until the next video, you know what's going to happen, right? See ya!